right here on Luntha TV. Today being Tuesday, the 24th of August. 24th of October. Wow, August. Wow, okay. Yeah, it's the 24th of October in the year 2023, and it is yet another day and time where we take you through the part of the stories that are appearing in our newspapers. And today with me, Tandy and Sumara, and I'll be taking you through the nation, and of course I am not alone.
Palace, she's on, and I'll be taking you through the Daily Times.
All right, shall I start?
Yes, required.
Okay, on the front page of the Nation newspaper, a headline here reads, Budget faces reality check. Sub-headline, as Parliament meets for mid-year budget review from November 13th. And part of the story reads that when Parliament convenes for the mid-year budget review meeting from November 13th, it will mark a reality check for the 3.87 trillion 2023-2024 national budget, riddled with widening deficit and reports of over expenditure in some votes. By press time at 9 p.m., new Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Simplex Shishola was yet to respond to the Nation questionnaire on how he intends to salvage the national budget, feared to be off track, but United Democratic Front leader in the House, Ned Poyer, said they expect him to make expenditure cuts on some lines as revenue collection appears not to match projected expenses. I think yesterday it was announced that Parliament is supposed to convene on the 19th of November. And I think apart from the economy review, there are also certain bills that are yet to be passed, of which I think the expectations are high that perhaps maybe these could actually be considered during the next sitting.
I'm sure they're going to be considered.
I mean, I'm saying the expectations are there. Yeah, it could, or they could, or they could not, but those are the expectations out there.
All right. Moving on the front page of the Daily Times, the headline leads ex-ACP chief escort stage, and part of the story leads Anti-Corruption Bureau, ACB former Director General Leonid Marimba, yesterday frowned at procedures at the glove-busting body used to bring two witnesses from the United Kingdom in Nation Crime Agency in his alleged corruption case. Initially, Marimba was alleged to have received $10,000 from United Kingdom-based business person Zuneb Sata to influence the award of contracts to his companies. But the glove-busting body amended the charges and now accuses Matimba of failing to declare his interest in a board meeting which reviewed and granted a no objection for the Malawi Police Service food relation contract with the $7,875 million to be given to Zambia Limited, which was engaged to supply 150,000 food relation packs. However, Marimba said ACB did not follow the right procedure.
Okay. Do you have any more local stories on the front page?
Oh yeah, I do. The most trending story that has been trending on social media yesterday. The headline leads the state wants murder suspect remanded for 90 days. And part of the story leads the state yesterday asked the Lilongwe Senior Resident Magistrate Court to remand murder suspect Lester Maganga for 90 days to allow the police to conclude investigations into the matter. The development comes after on Friday, police in Lilongwe arrested 29-year-old Maganga in connection with the murder of Coca-Cola Beverage Company former employee Alan Whitaker, who was found dead in his car in Lilongwe area 15.
I think it's one of the stories that was a lot on social media that we kept. People kept those voice notes going around. There was like so many explanations to the very same story. It's like so many angles to the very same story. So much so that we realize, okay, so what exactly are we supposed to hear here?
Same
exactly. At least it's safe to say that maybe justice served to some extent. I mean, whether he's guilty or not, we'll actually get to know. But at least there is progress to these cases.
Yes,
and I heard also the police saying about the Agnes case. Apparently, a Nigerian woman was arrested on the 27th of September this year in connection to that. And yeah, I think it's safe to say that there's progress in this. Because I do remember that those murders, they happened very close.
I think in the within the summer week.
Not
I think
necessarily, but
after
same
very
month.
after days.
I think same month. It's safe to say same month because. But then it was a scary situation. There was so much going on, and it was like in a similar fashion to some extent because both of the boys were fined by cars.
Yeah.
So it raised security concerns, of course, amongst Malawians, fears, and all of that. So it's good to see that there's progress going on with that. Okay, moving on to
Malawi Police Service. Really doing their job.
Okay, moving on to business news. The headline here is the CFSC urges Treasury to revise economic policies. And part of the story reads, faith-based economic think tank Center for Social Concern has urged the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs to adjust its economic policies and framework in response to the revised growth projections. CFSC Projects Officer Kondwani-Hara said this in an interview yesterday against the backdrop of the recent World Bank's gross domestic product economic growth projection of 1.5% in 2023, a 100 basis points drop from its initial projection.
And then the headline is funding challenges still for electricity generation in Genco. And part of the story is the electricity generation company has indicated that it is facing a formidable hurdle in its quest to advance electricity generation and meet energy demand in the country. In an interview, a Genco acting chief executive officer Maxon Chirao said the primary obstacle is funding. He disclosed that Genco is actively seeking partnership and financing both from international sources and domestic finances to fast-track their ambitious projects aimed at boosting energy production and creating employment opportunities for the people of Malawi.
Okay. Do you have any more business before we go to international news?
Let me just take this one. ICAM rewards 24 best performing students. That's a headline. And part of the story leads Institute of Chartered Accountants in Malawi has rewarded 24 best performing students in the June 2023 examination, which saw each pocketing 50,000 per subject for every score above 65%. This follows the award ceremony, which took place over the weekend at its head offices in Luntha. ICAM Chief Executive Officer Noel Zugoi said it gives honor to the institution to have students that performed well in its programs.
And I believe it's also motivating for others to do well and should do even better.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's a motivator. 50,000 per subject.
So imagine if
you're taking 10 subjects and you've scored each over 65%.
That means
That's like 500,000.
You made a think
for
of
a college
dropping out
student.
from school.
Wow.
Start a
I don't
business.
like the way you think. I think it's a good thing that you're not in school right now. No, you know what? I think God knows when he's directing certain things.
I'm just saying.
Really?
Yeah, 50,000. Okay.
So
Actually,
500,000 but it would make you drop out of school?
to start business.
Wow.
Yeah. Business oriented.
Yeah, these are the kind of people that we have here.
Don't listen to her.
Okay, moving on to international news. I will take one here. A headline reads, the SADC to rally against Zimbabwe sanctions. And part of the story reads that Southern African countries will tomorrow express their solidarity with Zimbabwe to push for the removal of economic sanctions imposed by the US and some of its Western allies on Harare in the early 2000s. During the 39th Southern African Development Congress, SADC heads of state and government in Tanzania in 2019, regional leaders and government summit in Tanzania. Regional leaders set October 25th each year as a day of solidarity against the sanctions and unanimously resolved to hold various activities on this day to push for an end to the biting sanctions.
With Zimbabwe still battling cholera. That's a headline. And part of the story is Zimbabwe has been struggling to contain a spread of cholera outbreak, with the government announcing measures amid fears of repeat of its 2008 outbreak that sparked a national emergency. Cholera cases span all 10 of Zimbabwe's provinces, with the most alarming spikes in the southeastern provinces of Masibingo and eastern provinces of Manicaland, the epicenter of the crisis. A cholera outbreak has killed more than 100 people and infected 5,000 since February, according to government estimates.
Do you have any more international before we move to arts and culture?
I think we can move to arts and culture.
Okay, speaking of arts and culture, headline here is Zeze breathes life in Kusangalala part of the story reads that the exquisite fruit of music has the capacity to take people to a different reality and access most profound feelings. Not only does music transport us to various eras, locations, and imaginative realms, but it also establishes connections between us. Amongst the myriad songs our ears have listened to, Kusangalala by Zeze Kingston stands out as a magnificent example of a composition with memorable lyrics on the road to closing the year 2023. I 100% agree with this. I mean, at this point,
Yeah.
the Kusanga song by Zeze Kingston, I don't know our viewers, if everyone who's watching right now has actually had the chance to actually listen or even watch it, but mostly listen to the song itself and the message that brings. Honestly, I believe that it actually brings hope.
Yeah. And
For me, my understanding of it is hope, because it encourages to say that problems are always going to be there, and that's the truth.
And you
That
don't
is
have
the
to
truth.
give up.
Problems are always going to be
You
there,
want to
but
keep
you don't.
moving.
Yes,
Yes.
you don't necessarily have to actually base your life on the problems. Focus on the good things in life. Whilst the problems are there, good things are also happening. So, it really brings hope to people, and plus the tune itself, it just makes you want to dance and just puts you in a mood, really.
Yeah.
I think he's done an
The
amazing
composition,
job.
top notch.
He has good music, and I really believe that Kusanga Song is one of his best of the 2020.
I even knew that the song it's gonna pop out, like it's an international song. And someone commented on his social media, be like, you know what, this is new that Sangala song is gonna be an international song. He even included English subtitles.
Yes, the subtitle, yes.
It's really good stuff. Alright, the leads Joyce Mhango Chapula gets a Zigoma Awards nomination, and Bible Story leads award winning filmmaker Joyce Mhango Chapula has received a nomination in the Zigoma Awards in Zambia in the category of Best Zigoma Actress of the Year, Southern Africa. The category has shared mantle with 9 other nominees, and they include Ama Okwamata, Tabisile Zikali, Ngelea Mulondi, and Nombolelo Mlongo from South Africa, Tanya Tembe from Mozambique, Fraxa Zowa Ngwila Musonda, and Mwanida from Zambia. The actress yesterday described the nomination as a surprise.
So it's amazing, because I know some of the actresses that she's been competing against, and I must say, they're amazing actresses, and so just for the nomination itself, it's a kudos to her. Okay, move on to the back page.
Alright.
Okay, alright, the back page with the local sports. A headline here is Flames in Tight Sport. Sub-headline, extra funding request awaits Treasury. And part of the story reads that Flames opponents in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers have engaged in extra gear in preparations, while Football Association of Malawi FAM is keeping fingers crossed for a financial breakthrough to get down to work. The Malawi national football team is scheduled to travel to Liberia to face the Lone Star in Monrovia before hosting the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia between November 30th and 2023. Okay, all I can say though is that I hope that they do well, and with the new coach, Patrick Labedi, I really hope that their performance is going to be as amazing as his coaches and all things. It should at least be worth it.
Okay,
Because right now what they're saying is that they need funding. They need funding for them to actually be able to actually play in these games.
Yeah.
But my point has been for a while now to say, can we at least put our money where it's worth it?
What are you insinuating?
I'm not insinuating anything, I'm just saying that they should actually, it shouldn't hurt to release that much money. It's like a parent, I'm actually giving this example before. Every parent it's easy for a parent to actually say, you know what, I'm going to allow to not eat what I want to eat because I want to pay school fees for my child, and that child is actually worth this money because the performance is really good. You get my point? Do you understand what I'm saying? I know you understand what I'm saying. I'm not insinuating anything. You are just trying to put words in my mouth, though.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. You're trying to
Okay.
put words in my mouth.
So whatever you're saying, let me rephrase your sentence. What you're saying is,
Please don't. Let's just go on, because you're literally just going to make things bad. Let's just
alright,
go
here
on.
the headline leads concerned citizens call for Nyamilandu's hate, and Bible Story leads a group calling itself Concerned Sports Ethicist has asked the Football Association of Malawi President Huora Nyamilandu not to contest in this year's December 16 polls. Addressing journalists in Milongo yesterday, spokesperson for the group, George Musa, said the current farm boss has done his part and should pave the way for others. Musa also asked the Farm Member Association not to nominate Nyamilandu, saying they has to run out of ideas for Malawi football. Among other things, the grouping has also asked for sanity against the farm polls. Nyamilandu has served as farm president for close to 20 years.
Honestly, I agree with them. I agree with them. Honestly, it's good that we see a new leadership. We see, I mean, close to 20 years. That's literally close to years. So I think it's important that it's made known to say, okay, what can other people do?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So the headline here reads "Mixed Fortunes for Gaba," and part of the story reads South Africa-based Malawian forward Frank Gabadinho Mhango was on target for Morocco Swallows in a curling knockout cap match against Richards Bay on Sunday, but the Dube Birds were still booted out of the tournament. The Flem striker equalized for Swallows as they trailed a 1-0 in the second half, but the Port Elizabeth DSTV Premiership side went on to hit the winner.
The headline is Queen's query members of disciplinary board. A part of the story leads some Malawian national netball team players have questioned the position of the disciplinary board, which Netball Association of Malawi has instituted. This comes after the board summoned the players to an online disciplinary hearing on October 18 of a clip which was circulated soon after the Queens lost to England in a 2023 Netball World Cup finals game in Cape Town, South Africa. Some of the players who did not want to be mentioned said they are against the 3 members of the board, namely Chairperson Junior Gazembe, NAM Vice President Isaac Chimara, NAM General Secretary, and member Diana Kolumbe, NAM Vice General Secretary. The press said the trio should not be involved in the case as it was with the team in South Africa.
Alright, moving on to international sports, I'll take one. The headline here is Gomez blames doping ban on son's cough syrup. And part of the story reads, Argentine World Cup winning midfielder Papo Gomez has denied doping and blamed his positive test on accidentally ingesting his son's cough syrup. On Friday, Gomez was given a 2-year ban by FIFA after testing positive for a banned substance. Wow. So he's been banned for 2 years. Because he was tested for a banned substance, and apparently, according to him, that is because he accidentally ingested his son's cough syrup.
He ingested his cough?
Yeah, as in he took
the cough syrup
of his son, belonging to his son, so that's why he tested positive. That is according to him.
I think that's just an escape. He was just trying to.
Who knows? It's possible. Maybe he was trying to give an example to the son to say, oh no, the meds are not that bad. See, I'm also taking them. I mean, it's just an example. I don't know. But that also brings us to the end of what we had for you in this edition of Press Review for today, Tuesday, the 24th of October in the year 2023. If you want to know more details to the stories we read and some of which we could not, make sure to get yourself the papers with each going at the price of 1,200 kwacha. You have anything to say before we say goodbye? Okay.
You do talking.
Okay, cool. Yes, that's great. You've been with me, Tandy Williams-Mara, and my colleague,
Palace Chizombe.
Have a lovely Tuesday.